Okay, hello everyone, Clarke Towson here. I'm the CEO of INTJ Billing. In this video, I'd like to talk a little bit about a number of subjects. Actually, these are a lot of notes that I had for video ideas. I was going to make one video for each of them, but I think I'm going to talk through some of these points and just try to keep it condensed. It'll probably be a bit of a long video. We'll see how we go. So there's quite a few things here to talk about, but I thought let's try to do it in one video. So, introduction to Soi 6 Pattaya. This location is one of the major entertainment districts here in Pattaya, Thailand. It's a red light district. There are at least 500 sex workers, probably more than that, working here on location. It gets very rowdy here at night. It's a major draw card here for Pattaya, Thailand. And as I've said before, I consider this district to be on the world stage when it comes to this kind of activity. Yeah, there's a number of red light districts around the world. I think Pattaya is right up there. The ratio of female to male sex workers, the vast majority of sex workers here are female. There aren't any male sex workers here. There are some transgender workers, not as many as in the past, however. When I first came over here in 2012, Soi 61 in particular, which is the back alley here at Soi 6, had a lot more ladyboy sex workers, whereas now there's not a whole lot there. I mean, there are more than when I first got here in early August, and I think it's building back up again. Obviously, after the last few years of what we've all had to live through, this industry in particular was badly affected. This country, Thailand, tourism industry, badly affected, of course. This place is very popular with expats in particular. Tourists tend to go to Walking Street. Walking Street's a major tourist trap here in Pattaya. I guess Soi 6 is more well known to expats and to people who've been coming here to Pattaya for a longer time. This area, the prices are cheaper than in Walking Street, and of course the prices here are cheaper, the alcohol and the bar fines and the girls, than places like Phuket. Obviously Phuket being more expensive. It's one of the more expensive places here in Thailand. Now at the end of this Soi, or at the start of the Soi, depending on the way that you look at it, so Beach Road is that way, and this way is the starting section of Soi 6. There is a Western Union outlet directly at the head of Soi 6. Obviously, Western Union saw the benefits of having an outlet in this location, and it's a common sight to see sex workers here go to that Western Union outlet when guys from the Western world are sending over money to them. Right? Now I'm thinking here in Soi 6, there is no Bitcoin symbol. There's no Bitcoin over Lightning Network symbol. There's no big sign up. I think I might be the person to do that. So I'm interested in potentially doing that. And I know there are some people who are watching these videos who have done that sort of thing in the past, put up their own signs in this location. So I think maybe I'll come and have a chat with you and yeah, talk about how I can put up a big Bitcoin sign. My pop-up office location here in Soi 6, Queen Vic Hotel, room 220, right in the heart here of Soi 6, great location. Right. Let's talk a bit about contracts. Contracts in this location. Now, contracts are entered into every day and every night within this location. Now, they may not be written contracts, they're verbal contracts between the punters and the sex workers. Right? Negotiations take place. Negotiations in terms of price and location of where the activity will take place, either above the bar or at the punter's back of the punter's condo. The contracts are entered into here constantly, right? A couple of other things. This office here, as I've said, I go through the KYC process with each bar girl here, taking a photo of their ID, entering their details on my platform, setting up their Bitcoin hot wallet, their payments page, etc. All right. Sending them an email thanking them for becoming a client, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, on the door, I've put my my logo, INTJ Billing. I put a welcome message on the door as well. I think that's important, so people know that this, I'm using this as an office. Right? Let's talk a little bit about refinements. Okay, refinements that I'm making to the system that I've set up. Obviously, over time, as I continue doing this kind of work here in this location, there are improvements that I can continue to make to the system that I've set up, to my own procedures, my own policies, to the payment system that I've built. To the systems I've built atop the Bitcoin Lightning Network. Obviously, I'll continue to do that over time as I go through and continue this kind of work, right? Now, there's a lot of noise here at night in particular, but the noise hasn't been too much of a problem. For anybody else who's thinking about doing something similar to me in a red light environment, I haven't found the noise too distracting. I can work here. I can continue to work here, which is great. I'm not sleeping here overnight. I'm staying back at a condo at City Garden, which is in a quieter area here in Pattaya. But yeah, I haven't found the noise too distracting, which is really great. All right. I think for my next trip here, I'm going to bring more business cards. I'm not sure why I didn't bring more business cards. That was an oversight. It's very easy to make oversights, obviously, when there's so many things to think about when you're trying to launch a payment system, right? Let's talk a little bit about company registration and formation. Now, INTJ Billing is an Australian company. It's a proprietary limited company. It's registered in Australia. I'm the sole owner of the company. I have a lawyer who's in Bangkok who I've been talking with about potentially setting up a Thai limited company. One of the problems with coming over here to Thailand, being a foreigner, becoming an expat, is dealing with issues like where do you put your assets? Do you leave them in the Western world? Do you bring them over here to Thailand? There's a lot of risk when you bring your assets over here. Foreigners can't own land in their own name, so they have to buy a condo. When you buy a condo, Thais don't like buying second-hand condos, so you'll probably be trying to offload your condo if you need to sell it in the future to a foreigner. Condos are easy to buy, difficult to sell. There's a lot of stuff like that that goes on over here in this environment in terms of assets and what do you do with your assets as a Westerner. Now, my point of view when it comes to this is I keep my assets in the Western world, and I have an income coming in, and I use a portion of that income to live over here. Obviously, I'm using Bitcoin as a reserve treasury asset. I have Bitcoin on my balance sheet, and I view that as an international asset that I can utilize as I see fit. I think Bitcoin is one of the only, of all the assets out there, okay, Bitcoin is a bearer asset. It's also an asset that you have direct ownership of, and you can sell a portion of it if and when you need to fund your lifestyle or your business activities. So I've chosen to make my balance sheet of INTJ Billing, Bitcoin heavy. And that means that as cash devalues and we have increasing inflation over time, I'll be protected because I own a scarce digital asset. So you can think of INTJ Billing as a bit like MicroStrategy, but just a very, very micro version of MicroStrategy, because my company is a whole lot smaller at the moment, only being a one-man band. Of course, I can expand if and when demand dictates. Right? I'm ready to scale things up if the need be. Right? Yeah, but I think there's having my company registered in Australia. Yeah, I think as soon as you start registering Thai corporations and dealing with lawyers over here and going through all that sort of stuff, it starts to get into some complexity, right? Yeah. One of the things I'm thinking of doing is creating a page that each bar girl can share on their Facebook once they have their Bitcoin wallet set up for them. So literally something they can just copy, paste, share on their Facebook. Thinking maybe something like an I accept Bitcoin ad that each bar girl can share on their page with my logo on it. So very few of these bar girls accept Bitcoin. Fewer still accept Bitcoin via the Lightning Network. The only ones I know of are the ones that I directly work with. Ladyboy Oi, for example. Ladyboy Sarah over at Delirious Bar, for example, got payment pages for them set up. They accept Bitcoin over the Lightning Network. How do you explain to a Thai bar girl the importance of Bitcoin? Right? Not an easy thing to do if you think about it. Even if you explain it in Thai, they're not going to get it, right? No, it's the foreigners, it's the business owners here that I think I need to deal with directly, right? Just don't see any other way. So that's one of the reasons why I guess we haven't seen a big Bitcoin take up amongst sex workers, right? The average sex worker doesn't understand Bitcoin. Maybe they're not willing to learn. Maybe they didn't do that well in school. Maybe they didn't like to study. Maybe that's why they became a sex worker, and so on and so forth. But the bar owner is different. The bar owner is a business person. The bar owner has said to himself, okay, here's a business opportunity. I can employ these people. They can work for me. They can make money for me. So if the bar owner is a business person, the bar owner is above the sex worker in terms of their understanding of business and economics and finance and so on and so forth. So the bar owner is the person to approach, right? Bar owner is the person to work with. The bar owner is the right approach, right? Now, it's men that own the most Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is majority owned by men. The women come along later when the user interfaces are better, when it's easier to use. The women follow the men when it comes to technology, okay? Now, men may follow women when it comes to youth and beauty and go after the youngest and most beautiful women, but the women are definitely followers on a whole when it comes to technology and following men. I'm not saying that's in all cases either. There are some brilliant women out there who are brilliant with technology. That doesn't tend to be the majority, however. We have to look at it that way. I don't want to be sexist in any of these videos, but that is just the reality, and we all know that as well, right? So it's men that own the most Bitcoin, but it's women who will benefit from that, okay? Women within this environment, the majority of these sex workers are women, they can benefit greatly from men owning Bitcoin and wanting to use a portion of that Bitcoin to send it to them for conversion into Thai baht, the payment to them as Thai baht, right? That's what I'm here to provide, that service, right? Now, will the Thai sex workers care about Bitcoin, or do they only care about getting paid? Look, I think that they just care about getting paid. Simple as that, regardless of what the payment method is. They don't want to spend a lot of time and effort thinking about the payment method. I think they just want the money. And I've been looking out this window as the workers turn up for work and seeing the way that they operate. They're not, I mean, many are actually sitting down there looking at their phones. I don't know what they're looking at on their phones. Maybe they're looking up Thai soap operas or funny memes or whatever the hell they're looking up. I don't think that they're there studying Bitcoin. I don't think that they're sitting there. I don't think that they're sitting there looking up the millennial prizes from the Clay Mathematics Institute. I think they're looking up the Poincaré conjecture and its solution, but I digress. They're not doing any of that stuff. Okay, all right. They just want to get paid. They just want to get paid. All right. Now, the average punter, the average bar punter of today is not the person who will be using this platform tomorrow. That's something that's really important. If there's one thing that I could try to explain and get through the heads of the bar owners here, is all the guys that they've been dealing with over the preceding years, okay, very few of them would be big on Bitcoin. And I've received this feedback that there was only one guy who wanted to pay with Bitcoin. That's completely understandable. We have to be thinking about the upcoming generations, okay, and where Bitcoin is going. Right? When I look around at the punters here in this environment, I don't see many who stick out to me. I'd say, there's a Bitcoin guy right there. There's a Bitcoin guy. I mean, there's been one who ran up to me in the street. Maybe he's watching this video. Shout out to you, sir. But we have to be thinking in terms of the future and thinking exponentially in where this technology is going. Right? It's just early days at the moment. That's the thing. We're just early. Right? So let's picture the Pattaya. I've got to say that right, the Pattaya bar punter, and then let's picture somebody 10, 15, 20 years younger than that person. Let's picture that, all right? Let's picture that and say, right, in the future, those people over in the Western world who are in their 20s now, in 10 years' time, they'll be in their 30s. Over the course of their 20s, with the experiences that they have with women in the Western world, a percentage of them are going to say, hey, stuff this, I'm going to get on a plane and go overseas. A portion of them will come here to Pattaya, and what percentage of them will be interested in Bitcoin? I think a large percentage in the future will be interested in Bitcoin, will own Bitcoin, and will want to use it as a form of payment, okay? So it's just a matter of time before that happens. And when that does happen, no, I've said when that does happen, because it is going to happen. Okay, it's just a matter of time. We want to be ready for that, right? We want to be ready for it. And that's who the market for this service is, I guess, especially as those men age, right? Yeah. The Thai sex workers here, they don't need to understand Bitcoin to benefit from it. Far from it, actually. They don't need to understand anything about it. All they need to understand is, well, I guess with the way that things are going, all they'll need to understand is their bar boss or their bar manager says, Joy, let's say the sex worker's name is Joy. Joy, go to the Queen Vic Hotel, room 220, sit down with Clarke Towson, he will set you up a Bitcoin wallet. That's it. They've been directed by a manager, they've been directed by an owner, go and do this, okay? And that is it. And then at some point in the future, punter wants to send them Bitcoin, and the punter can do that, right? Punter can do that. So she benefits. And all it's taken is a couple of minutes of her time. She wouldn't have gone out of her way to have studied Bitcoin or done, looked into it, done any of that sort of stuff, right? Has to be people with more foresight, people like me on location, people with more education, knowledge, training, experience, people who are in positions of influence and power, like the bar managers in this location. We're the ones, okay, who can help these people or not help these people, depending on which way we want to go, right? That's all I really wanted to discuss in this video. I guess, one last thing, the border run from Pattaya to Cambodia that I did, man, that was tiresome. It's irritating being in a van, going that distance. It took all day. Woke up at 4:30 in the morning, got home here in Pattaya about 5:15. Very tiresome. I think next time I'm just going to head over to the Philippines and then come back to Thailand, have a bit of a holiday to the Philippines, then come back here, right? All right, that's it for me for this video. I'm Clarke Towson, CEO of INTJ Billing. All the best, everyone.